and a French priest has been kidnapped in northern Cameroon, close to the border with Nigeria. George Vandenbush was seized in the early hours of Thursday in Koza, some 30 kilometres from the border. The Nigerian Islamist militant group Boko Haram is known to operate in the area. The French Foreign Ministry says it's working with local authorities to secure his release.
We heard, and unfortunately we can confirm, that a priest was abducted last night in the north of Cameroon, close to Nigeria. This priest was informed of his extremely dangerous location. Nevertheless, he wanted to continue to stay there. So, of course, all resources are deployed to try to locate him, and of course, as always, to try to release him.
And earlier this year, 7 members of a French family were abducted by Islamist militants and held hostages for 2 months. Now, for more on this story, let's now cross to Lagos to speak to correspondent Inka Ibukun. Inka, do we have any further details about the kidnapping of this priest?
No, so far there's not really fresh details. I mean, at this point, it's more an issue that is being dealt with the Cameroonian authorities and the French government. We do not know yet to what extent the Nigerian authorities have been involved at this point. Of course, as you know, this happened close to the Nigerian border with Cameroon, and French authorities have said that they believe the militant group, a Nigerian militant group called Boko Haram, is involved to some degree. None of this has yet been confirmed, and we do not yet know much new about the situation of Father Vandenbush.
This area, as you just said, is known to be frequented by Boko Haram. Just how dangerous a region is it?
Well, it's in northern Cameroon, which borders the northeast of Nigeria. The northeast of Nigeria is besieged by the Boko Haram sect. I mean, it's the Nigerian side of it basically has attacks on a regular basis. And so it's a very dangerous part of the country, and that border is particularly porous. So there's lots of movement between Cameroon and Nigeria, also between Nigeria and Niger at that border region. Also, we know that in August there was a conflict between Nigerian security forces and the Boko Haram sect, which led to the wounding or even the killing of the leader of Boko Haram. Now, we don't know for sure whether he is dead, but we did know that in the security report that were later released that he was taken to a community in Cameroon after being injured in battle. So we know that there's that part of Cameroon is a Boko Haram stronghold, that it has an influence there and it has militants there. So that makes it quite dangerous. Now, we don't know for a fact that Boko Haram is involved. We don't know that yet for sure. But if it is, if Boko Haram or the splinter group of Boko Haram known as Ansaru is actually involved in this, then yes, it is quite dangerous.
Inka Ibun, thank you so much for that. And now let's talk to Olivier Guitta, a terrorism expert at the Henry Jackson Society based in London. Now, we have no confirmation as yet from Boko Haram that they're responsible for this kidnapping, but as we just heard from our correspondent, it does appear very likely that he was taken by Islamist militants.
Good evening, thank you for having me. This is indeed the most plausible explanation. As well, Boko Haram is trying to mirror what Al-Qaeda in Islamic Maghreb has been doing, i.e. kidnapping foreigners. Because as of now, for them, they don't get the respect they should get, because they have targeted mostly Nigerian, and this is being viewed by a lot of people as just a Nigerian problem in a Nigerian terrorist groups. Also, the fact that obviously the French have paid to liberate their hostages from Niger, and how successful AQIM has been, is showing them that they can get a lot of media exposure by kidnapping a foreign citizen, but also a lot of money. So it's a no-brainer for them at this point.
Just how strong a presence does the group have in that part of the world?
A huge presence. If you look at the number, actually Boko Haram is the terrorist group in Africa that kills the most people. It doesn't get, as I said, a lot of publicity, but look at the recent attack on the school where they killed 40 Christians. This didn't get much media exposure. They're very dangerous. And finally today, the US has designated Boko Haram as a terrorist organization, something that should have been done a while ago.
Olivier Guitta, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.